with the invasion of Venezuela, the kidnapping of Nicolás Maduro and his wife, and then Donald Trump's uncharacteristically honest statement about seizing control of Venezuela's oil reserves, Trump has made it absolutely clear that it is Venezuela's oil reserves that are, and always have been, the ultimate objective of the Trump regime.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
In so doing, Donald Trump quite literally overnight made the act of purchasing oil and gas decidedly undemocratic and unpatriotic. That may sound counterintuitive to some, so let me explain. If you're American, then you may recall from your elementary school history lessons that America was founded upon democratic principles, wherein the people, through their elected officials, would run the country. Beyond that, the entire concept of America was a rejection of the prevailing model of monarchism and imperialism, wherein kings would rule kingdoms, expand them into empires, and those empires would seize control of smaller nations, plunder their resources, and then use those resources to grow even bigger, stronger, and more dangerous. It was a system of mobster rule, and it was a model that endured for about 4,000 years, until in 1776, a brand new country, calling itself the United States of America, declared enough is enough. Fast forward to January 3rd, 2026, and we find the United States military invading Venezuela, capturing and extrajudicially renditioning Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife to the United States to be prosecuted in some sort of trial that the United States feels entitled to adjudicate, which is a pretty ballsy move given that the United States has never ratified the Rome Statute and does not recognize the International Criminal Court's jurisdiction, asserting that U.S. citizens are not subject to the ICC's authority, reaffirming America's commitment to the sovereignty of nations, as long as those nations are called the United States of America. In so doing, the Trump regime has reactivated the historic model of mobster rule and effectively erased any pretense that the USA remains committed to its founding principles of freedom and democracy. The U.S. military, now controlled not by Congress but by a rogue regime, is unapologetically carrying on with the very form of autocratic imperialism that the USA was originally established to reject. All of this because the Republican Party propped up a single man to be their God King, stacked the U.S. Supreme Court with loyalists and ideologues who, on July 1st of 2024, decided to suspend the rule of law that had governed America for nearly 2.5 centuries, granting Donald Trump criminal immunity for his actions, thus creating the first ever King of America. A man who is no longer concerned with the legal consequences of his actions.
We're in charge.
Have you spoken with her?
We're in charge.
And endowed with the power to hand out unlimited pardons to those who commit crimes in support of his unlawful and unconstitutional regime. In that context, supporting the Trump regime and its unlawful actions, especially when those actions are conducted in an effort to plunder the resources of another nation, is pretty much the most unpatriotic thing an American could possibly do. That is, of course, my academic reading of the situation as a Canadian. I can't and I won't presume to speak to how Americans feel about this situation. But I am certainly happy to highlight some of the feelings, the actual feelings, that Americans are expressing about the regime currently occupying the White House and their decision to invade Venezuela. In his Substack article entitled "The Sun, the Truth, the Karma," Michael Jochum declared in no uncertain language, "It does not matter what you think of Maduro. What the United States just did in Venezuela is immoral, unconstitutional, and illegal. It makes us no different from any other authoritarian regime that invades another sovereign nation. In less than 1 year, Trump has made it impossible to be a proud American. Never in modern history has it been this embarrassing, this shameful, this corrosive, simply to say, I am from the United States." Now, of course, there has always been the Team America World Police style of patriotism that views the mass murder of civilians and the widespread destruction of property, institutions, and infrastructure as super cool and ultra manly, as long as it's happening somewhere else, and preferably impacting people who sport, shall we say, darker complexions. Kind of extrajudicial murder and destruction is perfectly in line with a unique brand of American jingoism that has underscored the neoconservative project for the better part of the past 60 years. But let's not forget, Americans have long been losing their appetite for that particular expression of patriotism. And Donald Trump ran twice on opposing that very style of foreign involvement. Now the Trump regime has brought the neoconservative movement back with a vengeance, but this time it is being implemented not from a country, but from a regime, with nary a word to Congress or so much as a tip of a cowboy hat to the law or the American Constitution. Make no mistake, Nicolás Maduro is a bad guy. He's a ruthless dictator, and the vast majority of Venezuelans would love to see him go. But Maduro's autocratic record is not the reason for the American invasion of Venezuela. No, that record just provides a convenient but extremely thin pretext. The Trump regime has invaded a foreign country on an entirely different continent for 3 reasons, and 3 reasons only. The oil, and the oil. In a single night, the Trump regime has telegraphed to the entire world that the U.S. is no longer in the business of defending freedom and democracy, but is rather in the business of selling crypto in exchange for political favors, propping up some dictators while persecuting others, releasing some drug dealers while prosecuting others. Given their specific choice to target Venezuela and Trump's surprisingly candid admission that this invasion is all about the oil, it is now abundantly clear that oil is the fuel of American fascism. Those 2 words, American and fascism, should be an oxymoron. Nonetheless, here we are. Donald Trump, in a matter of just a few hours, has made the act of buying oil and gas profoundly undemocratic and unpatriotic. In the new post-rule of law era, if you truly want to exercise your personal agency in a way that would have the greatest impact on resisting fascism and defending freedom, then your best bet, by far, is to buy an electric car, put solar panels on your roof, and tell oil and gas and the Trump regime to get fucked.